sit back, be comfortable, close your eyes, and envision your childhood. Close your eyes. What was it like? Did you have loving parents around or caregivers? How about your house growing up? Was it clean, warm and inviting, and in a decent neighborhood? Did you have plenty of clean clothing to wear? Did you ever have to miss a meal or go to bed hungry on a regular basis? Were you taught how to have good hygiene and health? When you were sick, were you taken to a doctor? And did you see a dentist for regular checkups? Did you receive your education and have opportunities to learn and grow? And were you taken to church? Think about your birthdays and Christmases. Were they filled with awe and wonder, amazing presents, and were you surrounded by loved ones? Was your childhood happy, would you say? Was it worry and carefree? Were you told how loved, special, and amazing you are? Now that you have that strong picture in your mind, I want you to envision your life without all of these things. I want to give you a vision of what it might be like to grow up living in poverty. Imagine that your parents are nowhere to be found. They're not around. You're left to fend for yourself. Imagine living in a dirt shack with thin walls, having only a few articles of dirty or worn clothing, missing meals, and possibly going to bed hungry much of the time because there is no food. Think of not taking regular showers or brushing your teeth. When you're sick, there is nobody there to take you to a doctor, nor is there any money to pay for one. You've never seen a dentist again for the same reasons. You don't have the opportunity to go to school, learn, and grow. You've never been to church. Life is about survival. You are not taught the value and importance of all of these things. You may not even realize that birthdays and Christmases are special events or special occasions, as they would just blend in like any other day. You've never been told how loved, special, and amazing you are. Think of the stress that you would have to endure as a child in this way of life. You can open your eyes. Every day, more than 25,000 children under the age of 5, which is the equivalent of 125 jetliners full of youngsters, die from hunger, poverty, and easily treatable illnesses such as diarrhea and malaria. That's according to Robert Kiner in his article, Rescuing Children in 2009. If you've ever wondered how you can make a change in the world, or you've decided that you can't make a difference, I beg the opportunity to share a chance for you to change the life of one poverty-stricken child through Compassion International. I myself have been a sponsor for the past couple of years, and I am passionate about doing just one thing to change the life of someone else. Change is possible by going out of your way to help one person in the world around you by partnering with Compassion International. Today I'm going to share with you what Compassion International is, how they got their start, the number of lives they touch, and how they use their monetary donations, along with what it takes to become a sponsor. But before we can get to how you can personally get involved, I would like to start with the background of Compassion. It started in 1952 when Reverend Everett Swanson was on a preaching tour throughout South Korea. He saw firsthand the poverty of Korea's unwanted children and felt compelled to action. He returned to the U.S., established a program that allowed people to get involved with providing food, shelter, education, medical care, and the opportunity for them to come to know Jesus. In the article, The Effects of Poverty on the Mental, Emotional, and Behavioral Health of Children and Youth, poverty is a critical risk factor for many of the mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders of children and youth. According to their website, Compassion International is a Christian child development organization dedicated to releasing children from poverty. They work with the local churches to provide child development programs, deliver children from economical, physical, social, and spiritual poverty. In doing so, Compassion gives the power of hope. Compassion International speaks out for children living in poverty by informing, motivating, and equipping others to become advocates of these children. Who does Compassion reach in age, you might ask? Compassion works in 26 different countries, has touched the lives of over 2 million, and is currently working with 1,350,590 sponsored children, alongside more than 65 church denominations, as a result, giving the power of compassion. This isn't something you see on an infomercial at 2 in the morning on TV and you don't know where your money is going, says Jeremy Newcomb of Bruco Marketing Groups. We met some of the children and saw how the sponsorships make a difference. So where do the monetary contributions go, you might ask? In Fiona Kennedy's The Life Skills Assessment Scale, measuring life skills of disadvantaged children in the developing world, UNICEF reported in 2009 that 42% of India's population was surviving on less than $1.25 a day. And 160 million of the 460 million young people in India under the age of 18 were living below this international poverty line. I want you to think about what life would look like on less than $1.25 a day. The luxuries of Starbucks, Dasbog, Caribou coffee we were discussing earlier, or even going to the movies with your friends would be non-existent. There'd be no way. With Compassion International, 80% of the expenditures are used on programs including education, health care, food where it's needed, along with the opportunity to learn about Jesus and ultimately give the power of self-worth. Now that I've shared with you who Compassion International is, who they help, and where the money goes, you may wonder how this pertains to you. With Compassion International, you have the amazing opportunity to invest in the life of a needy child. There are a few sides of being a sponsor, such as the cost and ways that you can support and encourage your child. The first question you might be wondering is, how much does it cost? The cost is $38 a month to give a child the opportunity and support they so desperately need in order to survive and succeed. $38 gives the power of hope. Greg Preston, a teacher at Hillcrest School in Minnesota, who are sponsors, says, at the Compassion School, students get food, study Bible curriculum, have access to computers, and extra education to prepare them to learn a trade and enter the workforce. So besides monthly donation, Compassion International encourages you to build lasting relationships with your child. This can be done by writing letters of encouragement, sending Christmas and birthday gifts, and praying for your sponsored child. By doing so, you give the power of self-worth. Eric Fox Linton, a sponsor in Kansas City, says, poverty is not just a lack of material goods, but also a lack of hope. You have to give them a sense that they are loved by others, and they are given hope through this program. Through the Bible teaching, they are taught that they are important in God's eyes, and this really increases their self-worth. Another way to build your relationship with your child is by visiting them. Compassion International has been helping their sponsors meet their children since 1986, and there are 2 ways that you can do this. You can either go on a group visit with Compassion International, or you can go on a custom visit. This is a great opportunity for those of you who enjoy traveling, and Compassion International guarantees that you will build the memories of a lifetime, along with connecting and learning about the child that you sponsor. By visiting your sponsored child, you give the power of compassion. Now that I've told you what Compassion International is about, what it takes to become a sponsor, and the opportunity to build a lasting relationship with a child in need, I hope that you can see that change really is possible by going out of your way to enrich the life of a child struck by poverty through partnering with Compassion International. I challenge you to become a sponsor to a hopeless child through Compassion International by getting personally involved in changing a life. Doing something as small as sponsoring one poverty-stricken child gives them a chance at a better life and future. Think back to your own childhood and the gifts that were given to you. You have the opportunity to give this to a child in need. If becoming a sponsor is not something that you can do right now, there are other ways that you can give and make change possible. Sponsor Eric Clampman says, a lot of time I am recognized as an NFL player, and many think that gives me great value. While I love the game, it is through the eyes of these Compassion International children that I can see a great value and importance in my life beyond the football field, and the potential we each have to help a child. I want to close by saying that when we initiate the power of change in another person's life, we ourselves experience change in our own life. We experience the change of self-worth. We experience the change of hope. We experience the change of compassion.
Woo!